And
Sure.
I'll start this meeting summary too.
Got it.
Great. And then if everyone can just put their, well, it's a small group today, so why don't we go around and just do some introductions. Lori, you want to start?
Lori Jacobs, community advocate.
Fran?
Fran Whelan from Palos Verdes Peninsula Village. And I just wanted to say that we're having our annual Upside of Aging. It's a free community meeting Wednesday, September 25th at 1 p.m. with Helen Dennis speaking. So everyone is welcome to attend.
Join the meeting.
Great.
Will you send out an email or anything about that?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Fran. Kathy?
Kathy Hetzer. I work with Ronson, South Bay COG, and I do senior services and homeless services and support everybody, all the case managers that I can, and then do client aid.
Kathy with a K.
Kathy Hilberg, Older Adult Program, Manhattan Beach.
Eric?
Good morning, everyone. Eric Ponce, field representative with Assemblymember Almaret Suchi. Joining me is also our intern, Isaac Alpert, from El Camino College.
Great. Nice to meet you, Isaac. Harriet?
Harriet Chase, co-chair Health and Wellness Committee for the League of Women Voters of the Beach Cities, and we focus on older adults.
Pamela?
Hi, I am Pamela Scott with the, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, Pamela Scott with the City of Redondo Recreation Coordinator.
Great. Jesus Castro?
Hi, Jesus Castro with the City of Torrance, oversees senior programs here with the city.
Oh, awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Yvonne?
Hi, good morning. My name is Yvonne and I'm from Blue Shield Promise Medi-Cal, and I am a caseworker, community health advocate, and connector.
Great. Benjamin?
Hi, yeah, my name is Benjamin Nguyen. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and director of Westside Pacific Villages. We are a village in Westchester, but service a little bit parts of northern South Bay.
Great. And then Bill, you're currently the mayor, right?
That's correct.
Mayor Uphoff.
From the city of Alameda.
Great. And then I think Connie just joined us. Is it Connie Hay? Okay. Diane is she's running out for a second, so she'll come back later. Oh, hey, there's Connie. We're just doing introductions. If you are, looks like you're driving, so we can come back to you. Or maybe,
Sorry.
yeah. Okay. Well, Connie's from HELP, so glad to have her with us. And Jackie just joined us. Jackie, we're just doing introductions.
Hi, Jackie Backman COG.
Okay, so then just moving on to the agenda. Do we have a motion to receive and file the last meeting notes?
So moved. This is Bill.
Great. Oh, and then just to give everyone a heads up, our chair Britt Huff couldn't join us today. She has some family issues she needs to take care of, but we wish her well. Okay, with that, then let's move on to our first presentation. So glad Pamela can join us today. She will be talking about Redondo Beach's Senior Services Showcase. Pamela?
Hey, I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to attempt this. Can everyone see it?
No.
Oh boy. Okay.
Technology is a great thing when it works.
When it works.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Okay.
So we see, oh, there we
Everything
are.
okay?
Yeah, I got my car washed too.
Ooh,
Can you see it now?
what place?
Costco.
Oh,
That's $8.
wow.
All right. Sure
Can you
got the,
see it?
yeah.
Okay.
But with
You can
that
see it
being
now?
times a little.
Yeah. Oh, just needed to mute the person that got their car washed. Okay, cool. Okay, go ahead, Pamela.
Okay, so everyone can hear me. You can see it now.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining in. And so I am the new recreation coordinator for the City of Redondo Beach Senior and Family Services. I've been here for about 4 months, so I'm still new, still learning, but I'm excited about what we are doing here. So I'll just go ahead and start. This community services encompasses several departments, and it would be, an after-school program, adult sports, teen center, summer camp, Alta Vista Community Center, Wilderness Park, all of the beaches, facility rentals, passport services, all of the sailing, senior and family services, the Performing Arts Center, transit and transportation and housing. So all of this falls under the community services department. And so this is our leadership currently. We have Elizabeth House, who's our interim director, Kelly, our deputy director. You can read all of the rest of them. And myself, Pamela Scott, is the recreation coordinator. And then I have a program coordinator, Zach Painter, who assists with programming. And we can read the mission statement for the City of Redondo. And so the City of Redondo, we have 3 senior centers, and they're geographically placed throughout Redondo. We have 2 in North Redondo and 1 in South Redondo. And here they are here. You can see them. And I've also included a map. And so that would be where they are located. And so this is some of the current program that we have available currently. And some of the new program that we have is our Technology Explorers, and that's really help our older adult population with technology, and they seem to really love it. And so we're really excited about that. One good thing that I love about the City of Redondo is approximately 90% of our classes are led by our senior volunteers, which is fantastic. Most of them have, years and years of experience of volunteering. They've worked at, health gyms and things like that with some of their activities. They're great with gardening and they've taught in the past. And so we have excellent expertise leading our activities at the City of Redondo. And how we get our information out each month or bi-monthly is our Club Hub newsletter. And the newsletter just includes all of the activities throughout all of the senior centers, any special events that we have, and how we get the information out is we email them to all of our senior center members. We post on social media, both Instagram and Facebook. For our events, we use some of the free Eventbrite and Redondo Beach Patch. We use some of those to get information out too, as well as we have these publications at all of our senior centers, City Hall, our recreation office. And so that's how we get the information out. One of the highlights that a lot of our seniors love is our senior excursions. And so we do a lot of exciting excursions. One of the things that we do is we have them we do a survey, and we really see, this is our survey for our winter excursions, and it's currently now they're voting. And these are the excursions that we will select and do for the winter. So from January through March of next year. So they love it. It really gives them a voice as to what they really want to do. And we adhere and we select what they want to do. These are our current excursions, which are our fall excursions, and they're really excited. We've really tried to do a variety of excursions that we think they'd like. One of the highlights is going to Wicked in the fall. We're doing actually Hamilton as well. And so they're excited about that. And currently we have partnerships with both Optum and Beach Cities. And so they sponsor instructors for a few of our activities. They do Medicare counseling, and they also have special presentations for our older adults. And here's some of the classes that they offer.
not done yet. Yeah.
That was one of my first tasks that I completed, and we are set to have the agreement completed with a catering company, and we're hoping to resume, I should say, our senior nutrition program in September. So we will have a catering company that will come once a month, deliver, and the cost for the seniors will be $4. And so we did tastings, we had bids out 5 different catering companies. They came out, they did a proposal for us, they let our seniors taste it, and so we are really excited about that. One of the other exciting things that we're doing is technology explorers with the Redondo Union High School. And so one of their counselors has come out. We've had the students come and they do one-on-one training with our seniors, our adults, older adults, and really just help with technology. And so for the fall this year, we're going to start doing classes with those Redondo Union High School students, and we're going to pick certain topics for our members to participate in to learn more from them. So it's been a great partnership with the high school. They're fantastic, they're patient, and our members love it. We recently have had the Redondo Beach Police Department talk about fraud prevention, financial abuse, safety precautions when they're at the stores and things like that. And so we're going to continue partnering with them. It's really been a great resource for our members to learn more about how to do that. And then just a few photos of some of our events. This is from our recent open house. We did demonstrations, and so they loved it. And these are some of the other events that we do. We have a big health fair coming in September at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. And so we're planning, so far we have 6 health screeners that will be in attendance. And so we are excited about that. And that is how you reach us. And so that is it. Thank you. Any questions?
Thanks, Pamela. Let's see, can you stop sharing your screen and then
Yes.
there's some questions.
Yes.
Thank you for that. You guys have a great team over there. I do the Redondo Beach Homeless Count, and Michelle and Zach are always of great help to me whenever I do that. And then I was actually excited to see the Yakult factory tour. My daughter loves that drink. I actually put it on my to-do list to look into that so I can take her.
Yes, come join us.
Okay, cool. When is that?
Let me see. That is, let's look back here and see.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, Zach is the one that kind of does all the research. It is Tuesday, October 8th.
Oh, okay, great.
On all of our excursions. So yes.
Great. All right. Any questions for Pamela? Okay. So no questions. Well, thank you for that presentation, Pamela. It's good to know all the services that Redondo Beach does, and seems like it's quite robust. For the meal plans, you said that was launching?
Yes. So we hope to have the contract done by September, so we can start in September. Yeah. So we're just in the final leg of it, and so I'm just keeping my fingers crossed because they're excited and they cannot wait.
Right. And then you also mentioned that the police department was doing the fraud prevention presentation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, there's been quite a few of those. Yeah, we're trying to look into what we see in homeless services is actually, unfortunately, even with all these prevention information sessions, we still get seniors quite a bit that have come through with fraud and getting their Social Security checks, fraudulently taken away from them. And so we've been trying to find ways to protect seniors after the fact. So are there ways they can get legal representation or financial conservatorships or anything like that to protect our seniors? So that's something we're still looking into. Kathy, did you have a question? Kathy with a C?
Yeah, I did. You're hi, Pamela. What a great program you guys have over there. I'm so happy, but I do have a question.
Yes.
on the Medicare, when
Mhm.
you mentioned they do Medicare counseling, are
Mhm.
they linking them to the to Medicare programs? And then do they also link them to Medi-Cal if they know they're eligible in the dual programs?
So so it's Optum Health that does that. And so they have one-on-one appointments. They come to our office here and they just help them on anything with regard to Medicare. So they can link them to whatever they need.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Oh, yeah, because I know a lot of times they come in or they're pretty confused with all of the options they have pretty much.
Yes.
You know, so they just come in overwhelmed as, do I have the right program? Do I have the right thing? So I'm really glad to see that that's going on over there and that there's somebody that can kind of help direct them to the right programs and resources.
Yes, they do. And one of the other questions they really have is people who have the secondary, that's a big question that they get. They're really confused because it's costly and they're like, want to make sure that they're getting the right one. So they've been very good with helping them with that.
Wonderful. Anybody who knows those programs well enough to be able to navigate through them, I'm all for it. They are so confusing.
Okay. And then Emily from Beach Cities Health District is saying they have unbiased Medicare counseling through the Center of Health. Center
Oh
for
yeah,
right.
I can chime in. Sorry, I didn't want to overtake this, but just also in addition, we work very closely with Pamela in the city of Redondo Beach. But as another option too, we have a high cap counselor, which offers unbiased Medicare counseling. So they're not connected to specific insurance plans, but they're trained counselors, and the high cap programs managed through the Center for Healthcare Rights in LA County. So we have a counselor who can see anyone twice. We have appointments twice a month at the Center for Health and Fitness, but they are also very familiar with Medi-Cal, so they'll scan for that too. To your question, Kathy, especially with some of the recent asset changes and everything with more people being eligible.
Right. We're a little bit biased here to Blue Shield Blue Cross because of Yvonne's here. So just not throw that out there. Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Blue Shield Promise.
Yeah.
Medi-Cal, appreciate you. Happy to help in any way for any of our most treasured people.
Thanks, Yvonne. Lori.
Yeah, just a quick question. Thank you for all the presentations. When it comes to Social Security, I get mine directly deposited to my account, so I don't have to deal with checks. Could this help some of the fraud situations?
Yeah, I think maybe. I mean, maybe having more seniors access to bank accounts, because I know the other way is to put it on a card, right? And so I think that's where we start getting into trouble. So I think that's maybe a good idea. Is maybe there's been some research on that. We'll look into that. That's a good idea, Lori.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Harriet, yeah.
Pamela, your Club Hub newsletter, is that mailed to the home?
It is no longer mailed, so it's emailed. We have about 400 email recipients, and then we, leave them at our senior centers, but we do not mail them unless someone calls specifically and say, I don't have email. Can you mail me a copy? So we'll do like 3 or 4. So we have no problem doing that.
Okay, you do mail a copy if
we can, if they request. Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If not, thank you, Pamela, so much for the presentation.
Of course, I just have one more comment to make. When we met with our Redondo Beach Police Department regarding financial fraud, I wanted to ask this group, one of the things that he brought to our attention is that oftentimes the older adults are uncomfortable even with their family becoming involved. Like they don't want them to have conservatorship. They don't want them to even have any, jurisdiction over their income. And he said that's a big problem. And so have you guys heard that as well?
Kathy can probably give a whole speech on this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here's my speech on this with seniors and dealing with seniors one-on-one. the number one thing I hear oftentimes, well, a lot of the seniors come to me in the first place because they need help with their rent, okay, or their income burden. But the next thing is when I suggest, what about the family? And you just bring up the topic of family and where's your support network? I don't have anybody. Now they can have, but I find out later on, well, there's brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, kids up the kazoo, and they don't want anybody to have control over them. They want to maintain their autonomy because they have managed this far in their lives, and they are trying to take over my life, and I don't want that to happen. So yes, Pamela, this is a resounding issue, and it also is impacting our ability to house them, not only with fraud issues and anything else that would come along, but it's just this general sense of I need to maintain control of my own life, and I'm capable. And from that, a lot of the problems we have with trying to assist the seniors, it is a crux. It's like the center point of all things happening with our seniors. And as this population grows, this is even going to be worse. I was just listening this morning, Laura, you just mentioned Social Security really quick and those changes that we'll talk about a little later, hopefully. But they're saying even with Social Security, the fraud that goes on with it, and to make sure that they don't click on any links from Social Security in their emails or text messages that they're going to get from Social Security because of the changes that are coming the way of having to change their passwords if they log into those accounts. So yeah, again, fraud, I'm terrified, just as you are, to watch this and try and all we can do is try and protect them as best we can.
Yeah, Pamela, just to give you an example, I think this is the reason why seniors are great targets for someone, is because they don't want to share, right? They're very protective of their little sandbox. And we had a gentleman in Carson, homeless, who was being defrauded $2,000 a month. The person defrauding him convinced him he won the Publishers Clearinghouse and that he had to pay taxes on that money. So he was giving the fraudster $2,000 a month. And we could not convince him that he was being defrauded. He was so sure that he was going to get this Publishers Clearinghouse money. It was $1 million, and all he had to do was pay taxes. And then the fraudster told him that if he sends him an iPhone, he can load the money onto his iPhone. So this gentleman bought an iPhone and sent it to the fraudster. So this was going on for like 2 months. And then finally we finally got through to him, partly because the fraudster called him while we were there. And so we intercepted the phone. Like, we just grabbed the phone out of his hands and just told the fraudster to stop calling him, or we will report it to the FBI, which we did. And then finally he relented. So sometimes it takes the family or the social service worker repeated engagements and different tactics to try to get through to the person being defrauded. But that was a very tough case. All right. Any other questions? If not, thank you again so much, Pamela. And then we will move on to our next topic. So let me just share my screen. Let's see. Okay. We have some legislative updates to share with you all, and particularly four bills are going through the state legislature right now. I see Eric's on the call. If you feel free to chime in on any of these, Eric, as we go through them, or you have any other ones that you want to share too, that would be great. But let's go ahead and dive into this. The first one is an interesting one. It's a good one. SB 37, subsidy for older adults. Kathy, do you want to take this one? Kathy, are you on mute?
Am I off mute now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so this one's becoming near and dear to my heart. Because I was on the phone yesterday with Adult Protective Services coordinator that works managing the Home Safe program. And I found out that the program is going to be closed as of June 2025. So all of the seniors who have been helped by the Home Safe program are being told that the program is ending. Any of them that have been on the program for 18 months right now are being taken off. So I'm expecting to see a huge influx of seniors who are going to be in financial trouble. Juan Carlos is the director, and he told me that he has 600 people, 600 seniors are on a wait list countywide right now for to be enrolled in the Home Safe program, which would help with their rental assistance and keeping them in the housing that they're in and helping them find new housing. So this bill, it appears, is what it looks like is they want to kind of revamp it a little bit and supersede it. Starting in January 25 is when they've slid it to. And it will be where we can have nonprofit community-based organizations could apply, continuance of care, the public housing authorities, area agencies on aging, can administer this housing subsidy program for older adults. So they're saying it would be about 4 years. The subsidies should last for about 3 years. What right now on the screen is what fair market rent looks like for the year 2024. So a 1-bedroom apartment, fair market rent is $2,006 for the 1-bedroom. Studios are the 1777, and you can see that it's already jumping up exponentially here. So it's based on the Social Security, and most of the seniors who get SSI money only get $11.33 a month. So therefore, they're already in a hole for this. Bronson, you want to flip the screen over there? And then 55, yeah, the program would also be for those 50, I believe I saw 50 and over would be the target area. But they're talking about here the number of seniors who are from 2017 to 2021, 65 years and older, has increased homelessness by 138%. The studies are showing that if they were to subsidize some people with $200 or $500 a month, that they would be able to maintain their housing at least for a while longer. Next screen.
That's it for this one.
Oh, that's it for that one. Oh, okay. So yeah, so I'm scared for what's going to happen with the seniors. My first contact with Juan Carlos was yesterday because they've been administering the Home Safe program, and it was from where I came to the COG. So the seniors are super important to me to maintain that program. And for him to land that bombshell on me yesterday that said that they were phasing it out, I was so upset. He told me like himself, he told me that he's losing sleep because we have no place to put these seniors. We don't have the housing. We don't have the funding. We don't have vouchers. We have nothing to offer them, and their incomes are fixed. It's not going to change. I don't know, I can plead my case till tomorrow, but I think everybody here in this room really is of this knowledge already, you know, so I don't really know how we could band together to try and push this legislation through. It has passed both committees. It's back at the Senate now. So I'm hoping they're going to put it on a calendar soon and approve it. But again, it doesn't start till January 25, and I guess there could be an overlap from the Home Safe program ending totally to this one picking up. So hopefully we could make some sort of a smooth transition, but we need to get this approved.
Did he say, so for those who don't know, the Home Safe program currently exists, and it's from Adult Protective Services. that funds a housing subsidy for about 18 months. And when Kathy was a case manager, he had like
40,
30, 40 cases,
40 people.
40 people. A dozen of them were on the peninsula, and the rest were scattered throughout, San Pedro or Wilmington
Long Beach.
and South Bay, Long Beach. Yeah. Did he say why it was ending? And remind me again where the home safe is being funded out of?
The Home Safe is funded through a state program right now. It was directly from the state to Adult Protective Services, and the social workers there were the first on the front line to identify those in need. And then it was referred to the nonprofits like myself or Spot 8 to figure out what to do and to try and, manage the case as best we can. And a lot of times managing that case, the only way you could manage it is to subsidize them. So currently the ones in Spot 8, okay, are being subsidized at 70% of their rent, which would essentially be equal to what Section 8 would have done had they been able to get a Section 8 voucher. So we have done that for them in the hopes to keep them in the housing. But now if that housing goes away, I did get a sneak peek at the updated rents versus the income for these clients, for my clients on that list. And I would say 3 may be able to maintain the current housing. The others are going to be out on the street.
Yeah.
If we can't find some other replacement housing. So I'm really concerned because I know it's just not Spot 8 here, it's the county. And I don't know what we're going to do when 25% of the population is going to be over 65, let alone the ones that they're bringing into this that are 50 and over, that maybe have disabilities as well.
Right. Is there a way we can get from them the list of the participants and which cities they're in? Because then we can maybe turn to our cities
For Spot 8,
or at least even
yes,
give them the heads up that this is happening.
they're being told. And because the way I ran my caseload, they had many of the clients had my cell number, and my cell number has not changed. So I've already gotten, as soon as it was given, the letter was given to them saying that they were going to be closed out of the program in October, which is where Spot 8's going to sunset most of them. I got 3 phone calls from old clients that I hadn't heard from in over a year, telling me that, they're in trouble. So can I help them? And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I said, let me think about this, and see. So I'm looking to anybody. Eric, what can we do? Okay, help me.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say that the assembly member did vote in favor of AB 2564, 2207, 2410. I will let him know about SB 37 if he is not aware already. But I will speak with the assembly member and see what the state can do. I'm not sure about funding at the moment. The state budget is not looking good. But I will speak with the member and see what can be done, because I get the need that these seniors are facing.
Yeah, and they called that out in the legislation. Is it will probably take $500 million over 4 years to fund the program, and it's probably just one of those things that needs to be a budget priority, or else it won't be funded. Lori?
Yeah, this is pretty horrifying. For the people who are already on the program, and then the long waiting list of people needing it. Where are the prevention people? I realize this is a state funding, but is this something where we can reach out to our county partners to look at what type of prevention programs and dollars are available there? I realize they can't just jump to a housing voucher because there's already a waiting list for there. But just to sit there and go, wow, that's really sad, and not be able to do anything is even sadder. So let us know Ronson and Kathy, who we can reach out to, what we can do to advocate and support, and you too, Eric. There has to be prevention. We just can't let more people just lose their housing.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that's happening that the COG's participating is the CASA, the Los Angeles Affordable Housing Trust Agency. And in the last presentation, we were talking about ULA, United to House LA initiative that happened in LA City. They were successful in doing a transfer tax, taxing all real estate transactions above $5 million at 4%, and above $10 million at 5.5%. It's a big tax. And so, like, basically, if you sell your house for $5 million, you would be taxed $200,000. It's a big chunk of money. But they were able to raise, $300 million in the past 13 months. And they used a lot of it to fund housing subsidies and in the form of prevention. And they helped over 11,000 people in the city of LA. So that's something that we can maybe look into for our cities as well. Maybe not at that scale of a 4 or 5% tax. Maybe something smaller, something that our cities would go for, but a transfer tax to fund rental subsidies for older adults might be.
This is part of the problem with short-term subsidy programs that have a sunset date. You help people, and then the program just disappears. So future legislation, we need to look at not having sunset dates, or having some way to continue programs. This is, I don't know what else to say. I'm just horrified.
Okay, so we'll look into, maybe we can figure out who's kind of at risk here and what cities. See if we can work with APS on that, and make sure that there's some sort of soft landing for these folks that are currently on the home state program. And then I think if all of us can advocate for SB 37, I think that would be a positive, and making sure that the state prioritizes this bill and the funding for it. Any other questions on this one? Okay. Moving on to the next one, AB 2564. This deals with property taxes. It was introduced by Tasha Boehner of Solano Beach, and we require appropriation of funds once a year to the senior citizens and disabled citizens property tax postponement fund, and keep the balance of the fund at $15 million. I didn't even know this existed, but there is a property tax postponement fund that allows eligible homeowners to postpone payment of current year property taxes on their primary residence. And it's a deferment of taxes that eventually must be repaid. There is interest on it, about 5%. And they do take a lien out on your property. It's pretty flexible. The homeowner can pay back at any time. However, the longer you wait, the more interest accrues. And they can force you to pay it back if you sell the property, if you move, if you pass away. And you can also not be delinquent on future property taxes, because then that triggers a payment of that year that you were postponing. And so what this bill does is it just keeps the funding for it, and it replenishes the funding once a year so that it can maintain $15 million of funds in the account. To be qualified, you have to be 62 years or older, or have some sort of disability. You have to own and occupy the place of residence. Your total household income is less than $51,762. You have to have at least 40% equity on the property, and you can't have a reverse mortgage on it. So that's that one. Any questions on AB 2564? Okay, and then moving on, representation on boards. This was introduced by Eloise Gomez Reyes of San Bernardino. This board, it was just simply to expand membership of several bodies to include the executive director of California Commission on Aging and the director of California Department of Aging, or any person or advocate for older adults. And these are the bodies that are affected. One of the main ones is the Interagency Council on Homelessness. It just basically is a bill that would make sure that older adults are represented on these agencies and committees. That one's pretty straightforward. Kathy, did you want to do the meal program? It's actually pretty simple, actually. The meal program pretty much still exists today. This is just more of a nuance. The way the current program is written it's that they need to provide one hot meal per day, but this bill would make it a hot meal or a to-go or pickup type meal to be reheated by the home for individuals. So it's just a small kind of change that offers flexibility of the type of meals offered on these nutrition programs from the California Department of Aging. So that's that one.
I think that one came up when, during COVID, it was a big issue because they had to kind of run around it for a minute, but they want to make it permanent.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are the ones that the League of California Cities are following, and we're following too. Any other legislative updates, Eric, or folks on the call from legislative offices?
I did just have some quick updates. As you all know, the assembly member or the legislature is actually on recess. They do reconvene on August 5th. Again, the assembly member did vote in support of AB 2564, 2207, and 2410. I will let him know your support on SB 37, and if that does come to the assembly floor, I will also advise for his support. As of right now, the assembly members' bills are on the Senate appropriations, the California Freedom to Read Act, the English Learner Roadmap, and the mandatory kindergarten are all on the Senate appropriations. But I did want to inform the community of 3 upcoming community town halls that are coming up. The Palos Verdes Community Town Hall will be on this Saturday, July 27th at 10 a.m. at Fred Hess Community Park in Palos Verdes. The assembly member will also be hosting a Manhattan Beach Community Town Hall on Saturday, August 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Jocelyn Community Center in Manhattan Beach. And third, he will be hosting a Redondo Beach Community Town Hall on Saturday, August 10th. So these are back-to-back events on Saturday at the Redondo Beach Main Library. So Palos Verdes, Manhattan Beach, and Redondo Beach town halls are coming up. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, be happy to hear them.
Great. And then can you send the information our way, and we'll be sure to share with the group. Sounds like you're gonna be very busy.
Yeah, we'll share that information, and yeah, it's going to be a busy couple of weeks.
Okay, well, I'm really glad that the assembly member is making himself available to constituents, so that's always good. And Stephanie Stone from Paragon's office, do you have anything to share at this point?
Thank you. My purpose for being here today was just to really listen in. It's my first meeting, so I enjoyed the information, and I'm looking forward to being part of this more often, or at least listening in more often. The only thing I would have to share is something I hope all of you already know. We have a senior fair, the briefing fair that's coming up on August 16th at the Carson Community Center. And we want to have as many seniors as possible attend again this year. So we're looking forward to seeing all from the community. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, that's a great event. I tabled that one year, and it was a lot of people. You guys did a great job of outreaching and getting people there. I want to say there was at least 200-300 people, if not more.
Yeah, we get about 2,000.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. it felt like a lot. Yeah. Um, all right. And then I think that's it of the legislators. Uh, great. And so we were going to then talk about help, but I see Connie dropped off, and I know Grace said she might be running late. So why don't we skip them for now until they kind of come back on again? Um, so, and then we did the legislative offices update. So Jackie, do you have updates from
Right,
COG?
maybe somebody can also contact Connie and Grace and see where they are. As far as the COG is concerned, I'm delighted to be able to introduce you all to our new second vice chair, Bill Uphoff, who's on this call. We just changed officers, so our new chair is Rodney Tanaka from Gardena. Hello, Bill.
Thank you, Jackie.
And our first vice chair is Bernadette Suarez from Lawndale. We are obviously very busy with a lot of different things. Our local travel network is working in several different cities to expand and figure out which is the best places for us to be. We're also looking at an event that we would hope to invite all of you to the El Segundo Art Walk on October 24th. We'll have we're trying to feature micromobility vehicles, and we actually want them for all ages. A lot of the work we're doing has to do with e-bike safety, because there is such a mess with people using these e-bikes like motorcycles and not really following the rules of the road. We feel that if we can get more people on e-bikes, including trikes, seniors using them for going to the store, we can get more people who are responsible using these bikes, and that will also help with e-bike safety. So that's going on with local travel network. We're working on our South Bay fiber network to increase and extend and expand it. We're doing a digital equity plan, and one of the covered populations for digital equity are seniors. So we will be trying to see if we can provide more services, computer labs and training or other things with community-based organizations. We're working very closely right now with Cal State Dominguez Hills and other community-based organizations that they're affiliated with, so that we can identify the crucial communities and what we can do in those areas. And on energy efficiency, we are looking at getting additional funding to do some more direct install kinds of programs for residential areas, mostly in disadvantaged communities, but we will let you know when we can confirm some of those. I don't know if I have anything else. Ronson, Jake, can you think of anything else?
I really think, yeah, you covered it all. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, we're very, very busy, and we appreciate this, all of your interest in seniors, which is more and more a group that we need to focus on.
Jake, have you introduced yourself to the group yet?
I did at our last meeting, but
okay.
For those who weren't there, I'm Jake Romoff. I'm a project coordinator with the COG, working on some of the initiatives Jackie mentioned, such as our local travel network, e-bike safety, as well as broadband and digital equity.
Great. And then I know like e-bikes are safety is something that is very topical in many of our networks in the South Bay. Like, do you want to maybe elaborate just a little bit, since we have some time? Grace is saying will be on at 10:30. Maybe talk about what you're all looking to do on e-bike safety.
Yeah, absolutely. So the most common users of e-bikes, as we kind of all know, are students. And at that age, a lot of the riders don't have driver's license yet and haven't gone through any official safety training when it comes to operating what is equivalently a motorcycle with pedals. And there's programs springing up right now at individual school levels called sticker programs, which require that in order for the students to park their vehicle at the school and ride it to and from school, they must attend a safety course. And when they attend that course, then they get to register their vehicle and receive a sticker on their vehicle that allows them to park it at their school. So it's in a sense a way for traffic school or driver's ed for e-bikes, because one of the biggest attractions of these vehicles for students is the freedom that they get from having them and being able to take it to school and then go to a friend's house afterwards. It's kind of the epicenter of where we're seeing e-bike density. And so we're working with some cities as well as meeting with school districts to see how the COG could help facilitate and potentially implement a regional approach to this. Right now, there's some scattered schools throughout the South Bay that have taken it upon themselves to implement this at a school level. But we see so much value in having this at whether it's a district level or a regional level, because again, as Jackie mentioned, there really is a micromobility mode out there for everyone. There's trikes, there's cargo bikes, and we would love to see the adoption of more of these. But right now, the biggest obstacle that we're seeing is a perception issue and lack of trust in the safety of these vehicles. And that is stemming a lot from the way they're being radically ridden by students from middle school to early high school. So we really want to address the problem at the source. And so we're looking to work with schools, cities, and even police departments about implementing safety initiatives such as a sticker program.
Great. Thank you, Jake, for that. Any questions on the things happening at the COG level? Okay, well, since we have a little bit of time, I thought I'd share with the group a new program that we're launching at the COG as relates to homeless services. And, as Kathy mentioned, there is now a larger and larger intersection between homelessness and seniors. And so I thought since we have a little bit of time, I can share this with you all. It's a relaunch of our old PATH program, but what this is it's a pathway to housing program that fills in the street to housing gaps. And what I mean by that is that currently there is a gap in street case management in a huge swath of our areas, particularly on the east side. And so we're looking to fill those gaps with 6 case managers that we've gotten funding from Supervisor Holly Mitchell and Supervisor Janice Hahn. These are the areas that currently have gaps in case management work, like street case management. So that is, if you're a family, typically what the system asks you to do is to go into an access center, which is in San Pedro or in Lenox, to see a case manager. But having case managers that can be on the street and meeting people where they're at is very crucial, especially for seniors who may not be able to have transportation or easily get around places. It's good to have these mobile case managers. And so these are the gaps that we've kind of found. This is the homeless count in 2022. And these are the areas we're looking to kind of cover with our 6 case managers, including Lomita, a lot of unincorporated areas that we're looking to fill the gaps in, and also parts of city of LA in the South Bay. And so this slide is just showing the importance of having these case managers. The first Pathway Home outreach. Pathway Home is this encampment cleanup program that the LA County runs as part of the emergency declaration. And of the 51 people they moved off the Lenox Irwin encampment, roughly 60% of the cases were managed by St. Margaret Center. So they had case management already. So that was a big help. So it goes to show that case management is very much needed if we want to get people off the streets. It makes things a lot easier for the system. And so what we're doing is we're partnering with WLCAC, Watts Labor Community Action Coalition, which is run by Shannon Murray. She is great. She reminds me a lot of Sherry Weaver in terms of her knowledge base of homeless services and what's all needed. They currently are very active in Watts and SPA 6, but she's interested in coming out to SPA 8 in the South Bay, partly because she actually lives in Gardena. And so these are the territories that her case managers will be covering. And then St. Margaret Center, based out of Lenox, they will be covering these areas in the northern part of the South Bay. And we will serve as kind of like the middle person and provide our resources to these teams As you know, we provide client aid. We actually are launching a time-limited subsidy program. It's a 1-year subsidy, so it's not necessarily a great solution for seniors because it's only for 1 year. It's really more for someone who is kind of getting back on their feet, looking for a job, or maybe are suffering from some acute health issues that they can't work. And so we have a subsidy program for that. But we have other resources like a housing locator, and we have, we can pay for motel stays and things like that for people experiencing homelessness. And this is just more going into nuance of what the program does, and how the case managers will support. They'll provide these services, and then we'll leverage local shelter programs, and like I said, our COG resources to help. So we have just entered into contracts with the providers, and so we will be kicking off this program. We already have case managers working on it, but we will introduce them at our August 7th homeless task force meeting. So be on the lookout for that. Any questions on that?
Yeah, Ronson, I got a quick question. How will that work? I mean, if we have, let's say, a senior homeless person in Lomita, what would we do? I mean, normally right now we'd reach out to LAHSA and say, "Hey, Vera, we have an individual in need." So how would this play into that?
Yeah, I would recommend in those instances going forward to contact Shannon Murray's team for Lomita folks. The LAHSA teams are great when you need maybe like immediate assistance or someone is looking to get into a shelter. Then the LAHSA team can do that. They can get someone into a LAHSA funded shelter in Lomita. But if they need any type of case management work or more hand holding, that's where Shannon Murray's team, WLCAC, can then come in and do that really high level or really intensive case management work to get that person document ready, and all the other things that person may need to kind of become stably housed again.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. And then what's different about our case managers too is that we don't usually in the system, there's segregation in terms of like, there are wrong doors essentially. Like a lot of case managers, like lots of folks, they don't do families, or they try to refer you to the older adult folks or youth. But like our case managers can service any population. So that's another benefit of our case managers. Great. All right. Any other questions on that? Okay. Well, I see Connie's on. Hey, Connie. Glad you made it. Yeah. So we wanted
I decided driving and trying to be on the Zoom call was not the best idea.
Yeah.
And I was having a hard time figuring out how to mute myself through my phone. So I was afraid I would be interrupting you guys. So
Great. Well, I'm glad you made it
nice
safe.
to see you.
Yeah. And so I wanted to, we wanted to give help an opportunity to kind of introduce yourselves and kind of give us an update on the exciting things you guys are working on.
Sure thing. So Grace is prepared to talk to you guys in more depth.
Mm-hmm.
She had a client, prior meeting and then a client. So she's working with that client right now.
Okay.
So I can just give you kind of an overview. So HELP's been around for 28 years. All of you know that, I'm sure. We've expanded our services. So we've always been known for counseling and referrals and information that's always provided free to older people who have questions about some age-related issue or their family members. And that's always been a free service. And on top of that, we have an educational program, the Bohannon Community Education Program, where we give classes all over the South Bay and beyond. Currently, we're going as far north as Santa Monica and as far south as Long Beach. And we also are now in the AAA building over on Hawthorne Boulevard in Torrance. So we have a classroom set up here as well. So you'll start seeing classes being promoted that are being given right here at our offices. And our class offerings have expanded as well. So not only are we doing the traditional classes that you've seen, but we've expanded into some other areas as well. And I'm going to stop there because I know Grace is about ready to come on. So if you would just give me a minute to get her, and I'll turn it back to you, Ronson, meanwhile.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. It's good to have that resource. And then if you guys all don't remember, Britt used to be part of that until I guess she retired from it. And
So Britt did retire as the executive director of HELP, and then I took over for her. She at the time was the city of Rolling Hills mayor, and still serves on the council. I think her mayorship is up, but I think she's still on the council. Here comes Grace. But she still serves on our board. Britt is still a board member, so you know that she's still involved and, you know, kind of carries the torch for us too. So I will stop talking and let Grace pop in here.
Well, I don't know what you said.
I just gave an overview, Grace, just a real quick overview. You just do whatever you so I'll pass it over to you and you just do whatever you had planned.
Okay, well, hello everybody. It's been a crazy morning already. Ay.
thanks, Grace, for joining. Yeah, I know you told me you had to run around this morning, so I really appreciate you making it.
Yeah, and speeding down the roadway, and it wasn't bad. It's just that as Connie and I were actually making up the stairs, because of course our elevator is out and has been out since last Monday for a week, so we're getting exercise going up and down the stairs. But there was a client coming down the stairs, so we're like, oh, we've got to help her right now, so we're just taking care of that. But anyway, oh, and Connie, I hear myself coming out of your office. Yeah. So anyway, well, hello everybody. I'm trying to see who all's there. So I think I know a lot of you, but there are a lot of people that I don't know. So hello. So my name is Grace Farwell, and I'm the program coordinator with HELP, Helping Elders Live Productively. I actually was a COG employee for 12 years. So, and we started this senior services working group back in 2014. So it's great for me to see that 10 years later, it's still going on. So I'm very happy about that. But anyway, I'm excited to be here. And I know Connie just was giving an update. So that's kind of what I was going to do. And then I was going to highlight a couple of our programs. But I think Connie may have said, so HELP has been around for 28 years. We were originally founded by Pat Long and Ed Long and his wife, Pat, as healthcare and elder law programs. And then we've transitioned to helping elders live productively as we've moved away from having attorneys on staff and helping older people do their wills, their trusts, those kinds of things. So while we still have information related to that, that's not our primary focus. We're really doing a lot more. We have a lot more to offer. And so we used to be in Old Torrance over on Cravens. And then about 3 months ago, a little over 3 months ago, because I've been here 3 months now, we moved to the Automobile Club building. So we're up on the second floor. I mean, who knew that there were offices on the second floor? I certainly didn't, and I've been a member of the Auto Club for many, many years. But we have great neighbors. We've got Agape hospice and palliative care. We've got SoCal attorneys, and actually that attorney is on our speakers bureau. We've got an accounting firm that's up here. So we're really getting to know all of our neighbors as well, and trying to see how we can get them involved with HELP, with some of the knowledge that they have as well. So anyway, to go on, so HELP has been, as I say, we've been around for 28 years. And we've really been in the business of helping people. And whether that's people calling in, dropping in our office, the way I look at it is we do a lot of problem solving. They may call in with one issue, but as we talk with them more and get to know them a little bit more, then it turns out that that's either the tip of the iceberg or that's no longer really an issue. And I think the bottom line is that we are here to listen to the clients. And so we are actively listening and not, not coming in and giving unsolicited advice, but we are just, we're listening. And oftentimes, I mean, I'll get comments back from someone after we're towards the end of their conversation, and they're saying, thank you so much for just letting me kind of just air my grievances or just talk things out, because now this is making a lot more sense. So that's, I think, is one of the best things that HELP does, is we are really good listeners, and we really try to problem solve with our clients who call in. And then all of our services are, what's my favorite 4-letter word, free. And that's from resources and referrals to our Engage program, and I'll talk about that, to our family caregiving resources, to our in-person and telephone counseling, to our classes and information. So our Engage program, really out of that, kind of what's kicking off our Engage program is what we call our Friendly Call program. So we have a number of individuals who, for whatever reason, are isolated. They don't really talk to anyone. And so we've started this Friendly Call program where our interns and our volunteers and staff will call like once a week just to check in, just to see how people are doing. And, this program is really here to try to decrease loneliness and social isolation. And then, there's so much research out there really looking at older adults and social isolation and loneliness. And, because many older adults have outlived friends, possibly family, they no longer drive, they're kind of encapsulated almost in their own home. And then research as recent as 2023 from the University of Michigan shows that social isolation and aging often go hand in hand. I know I'm probably preaching to the choir because, this is common knowledge. But in the study that University of Michigan did, 1 in 3 adults aged 50 to 80, so about 34% reported feeling isolated from others. And then about the same number of older adults reported having infrequent contact with people from outside their home. And then 37% of the respondents in the study stated that they felt a lack of companionship during the past year. And so, there's all kinds of causes of social isolation, which could be chronic diseases, conditions, dementia, mobility challenges, sensory impairment, depression and anxiety, relationships that aren't positive, more negative relationships, disruptive life events such as the loss of a spouse or family member, poverty, language barriers, lack of transportation, I mentioned that one a little earlier, or even family not living nearby, or they could be in a rural location. And then this study also looked at certain populations such as older women, the LGBTQ plus group, and immigrants are also thought to be at a higher risk for social isolation and loneliness. And then, what does isolation do to a person? Studies have shown that that linked people being socially isolated with a 29% higher risk for mortality and a 25% greater risk for cancer mortality, which I thought was rather interesting. And then social isolation and loneliness have also been associated with higher rates of high blood pressure, heart disease, weakened immune system, functional decline. So the inability to drive, to cook meals, pay bills, etc. And so through HELP's Engage program, we're really trying to solve or at least slow down, work on this issue. And then, as I mentioned earlier, our volunteers and interns are the ones who primarily make the phone calls. And then there's a lot of evidence really to support the positive effect of intergenerational programs on reducing loneliness, decreasing ageism, strengthening ties across generations. And so one of our interns, I just want to share a quick story that one of our interns is a student at Cal State Long Beach. She's a nursing student with a minor in gerontology, and she has just been unbelievable. She's been great. And so she has started making some of our friendly calls. And so she has connected. And so she's 20, I think she's 21 or 22. And she has connected with a woman who's 87 years old. And it's so much fun to at least be on this end of the call and hear what the intern is saying to the person that she's talking to on the phone. And it's just, you know, my colleague Haley and I were like, whoa, you just said that. But, you know, it's like she's telling about her life too, which is really interesting because the woman wants to hear what's going on in Sam's life as a student, and, you know, talking about that. And it's just, it's really interesting. And it's a lot of fun to listen to just kind of the different conversations that are going on. And Sam is getting so much out of talking to our client. And I know the client is getting so much out of talking with Sam, because we've actually had a number of clients call in and say, you know, Sam is wonderful to talk to. You know, it's really fun for them to have that that intergenerational opportunity. And so then, so with our Engage program, that's the friendly calls are actually really only the start, because we're going to also look to do friendly visits, light chores around the house, provide non-perishable groceries, and also provide tech support. So sometimes our older adults, I mean, I get quite a few calls and people can't figure out what's going on with their phone or their laptop or their desktop. And so I'm either trying to help them, you know, we're trying to help them through the phone, but we also have what we call our Technology Tuesday. And so people can make an appointment to come in and, you know, get help from, well, right now it's me. So I'm trying to be as technology fluent as I can be. But there have been some challenges that have stumped me, but for the most part, I've been able to assist the people who do come in. And we're lucky because we have a relationship with the USC School of Occupational Therapy. And so their students come in and they actually are the ones that really run the Tech Tuesday. But I will say the one caveat that I have found when you're working with younger people in that realm, you know, they'll pick up the phone and go, okay, here you go, all fixed. And so I'm trying to work with them to make sure that they explain to the person what's going on, or write out the instructions on, you know, with either adding an application to their phone or taking away one, or, you know, just helping them get started and then having printed instructions out. But yeah, so that's kind of highlighting a couple of our programs. And then in terms of interns, we're very thankful for our interns. So we have interns from Cal State Long Beach. As I mentioned, we have one who's currently well, she's a nursing student and with a minor in gerontology. And then we have another one who's going to be with us from Cal State Long Beach towards the end of August, who is also a minor in gerontology. And then we also are working with the USC School of Occupational Therapy. So we'll have students out here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting in September. And then in the spring, we're going to have interns from the USC School of Gerontology, my alma mater. So so we're really excited that we have this opportunity for students to come in and learn about HELP and learn about, you know, how to address issues that are related to the older adult. But also too, we have the opportunity to learn from them as well. You know, like kind of what's the latest trends that they're learning about from their academic perspective. So it's a nice two-way street. And then I think Connie mentioned that we have classes that are coming up. So in the Auto Club building, we have our own conference room, which is really nice. I mean, we have access to it. And so we do have a series, our Stay Safe series that's coming up, that's starting August 22nd. And that one is on aging preparedness. So looking at healthcare, financial tools, and planning documents to get someone to make sure that basically all of their paperwork is all lined up. And then September 19th, we're doing medication management. And then October 17th, we're doing senior scams. And November 21st, we're doing fall prevention and home modification. And then we have a lot of other topics. Another big topic that we're getting calls about quite often is on hoarding and decluttering. So we're really trying to, build out that area and find resources for that. And the bottom line is, if you get to the point where you have to put on your PPE, your personal protection equipment, then it's going to cost quite a bit of money. So because, if there's waste of any kind, human, animal, others, critters, then that's that you're going to be donning the full PPE on that one. But yeah, so we're really, so if anybody there, if any of the cities need presentations, we're happy to do it. I know I'm going to be at the Torrance Commission on Aging in September. So I see that Jesus is on the call. I'm also going to be in Hawthorne at their Senior Citizens Advisory Council. So yeah, so we're trying to get out into our cities to let everybody know what HELP is doing. We're at community events. I know we're going to be in Carson in August at the Carson Senior Resource Fair. I know Redondo Beach has their big resource fair coming up as well. So if any of the cities out there have events coming up, we're happy to table and to get more of our information out there. So I think that's pretty much it. And does anyone have any questions?
Thanks, Grace. Yeah, let's see. Fran was asking about if this information is on the HELPS website, and Connie said yes. There are 4 programs on the website, and the classes are being updated regularly.
Yes.
I just want to say, yeah, Grace, I'm so happy you're at HELP. It's great to have you back in our senior services working group. I'm honored to be like holding the torch now that you passed over to me. But yeah, it's great to see you back. I just want to say it's my dream to leverage our collective senior centers and volunteers across all of our cities to maybe do like a big program or campaign, involving this issue of senior loneliness. And so just want to throw that out there for anyone, but something that I would love to do, or it could be on another topic, but that would be like the dream, is if we can just get together and do one big effort. That'd be awesome.
Grace, this is Diane. When are you going to be in Hawthorne?
I think it's September. Okay, hold on. Let me look at my calendar real quick. And Diane, it's nice to see you.
It's good to see you too.
I am going to be, actually it's in August.
Okay.
August 7th. So I'm at the Carson Center in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I'm at the Senior Citizen Commission at 3 p.m.
The Senior Citizens Commission is at 3 where?
And at Hawthorne, isn't it?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
I was invited, so I've got it on my calendar for 3 p.m. on August 7th.
Is that the first Wednesday? I'm not looking at the calendar.
That's a Wednesday. Yeah, it's the first Wednesday.
Okay, yes. Okay, that's
okay.
The first meeting at City Hall. Okay, very good.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Definitely.
I'll see you there. Yes.
Yeah, Grace, this is Bill up from Lomita. What we may want to do is have you out and visit Lomita Manor, which is our senior citizens residential housing with roughly 80 units, if you will. So maybe just I'll work with you and staff to see if we can get you out there and pay them a visit.
Yeah, I'd love to. Okay. Where is Lomita Manor?
It's on Lomita Boulevard and Eshelman-ish.
Oh, okay. I probably pass by there every day when I'm coming to work or driving home from work. Huh.
Yeah, I think,
I don't
you know,
even think I realized it was there.
yeah, absolutely. So that would be the opportunity to get to, you know, talk to the residents in their, you know, in their environment, if you will, and
Mhm.
you know, how can we help kind of thing.
Perfect, thank you.
Great. Any other questions for Grace and Connie? Okay, well, thanks, Connie, Grace, for coming and swinging by on your busy morning. Really appreciate it, and looking forward to working with both of you this coming year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
definitely look forward to working with both of you.
Well, you already do.
Wonderful. I
What are
already
you talking
do.
about, Kathy? You already do.
Well, yeah, we got a lot to do.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, a lot of you I haven't seen since our gala, but Jackie, it was so nice to have you there. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you more at the event. You all can put April 26th on your calendar for next year's gala. We're already planning way ahead. We don't have a location yet, but we do have the date. So we hope to be seeing you all monthly on these meetings, and we'll keep you posted. But anyway,
It was a beautiful night. Thank you.
Yes, it was a very fun event. Thanks, Connie.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
All right. So then moving on, are there any updates from any of our members? Lori?
Hi, first of all, this is a great meeting and I'm glad to be here. Great to see you, Grace and Connie. So I wanted to share that on September 21st in San Pedro is an amazing opportunity to meet Dr. Jane Goodall in person. The Day of Peace, it's a United Nations International Day of Peace, and we're also celebrating Jane's 90th birthday. And I got the flyer here. I'll send it over to you guys. It's an eco festival, live music, celebrity guests, inspiring youth projects, pet adoptions, food trucks. It's all free. Your challenge is to get transportation there because Point Furman Park is the end of a peninsula. They couldn't have picked a more difficult location. It's being sponsored by the Rotary and the Jane Goodall Roots and Shoots Institute. And basically that program empowers youth to get involved with service projects related to our planet, people, animals. And so it's just an incredible opportunity to actually meet her in person. It will be live streamed internationally also.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I will send the flyer to Ronson and Kathy if you guys want to post that. Thanks.
David?
Hi, this is David with Beach Cities Health District. I just wanted to make everyone aware, all of these flyers have been posted in the chat. We have dementia caregiver support groups taking place in Manhattan Beach and Redondo Beach. The one in Redondo Beach starts August 24th. It's going to be the third Monday of the month at 2 p.m. It's going to be at the cafe at 514 North Prospect in Redondo Beach, the old South Bay Hospital. They are trying to get a cafe started there. And then we also have Manhattan Beach. That's on the fourth Tuesdays of the month, 1:30 at the Jowson Center. That's at 1601 North Valley Drive in Manhattan Beach. We also have our high cap. I believe Emily may have touched on that earlier, but I posted that flyer in the chat as well. We have our high cap volunteer who supports BCHD customers and clients on the second and fourth Thursday of the month. It's been a very successful program where we schedule appointments. They have to call our main number at 310-374-3426, option 1. And they are scheduled for an appointment in person with the high cap volunteer. This has been a great program to help seniors choose a plan. As you know, for those who are nearing retirement or those who want to change plans, Medicare can be very confusing from Part A all the way through Part, as I say, Z. It's very complicated when you're getting ready to retire. So that's a service for seniors. And then we also have our community survey that is going on. There's a flyer in the chat with the QR code. We will also be having focus groups. This is for residents of Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, or Redondo Beach only. If they live in those areas, they would complete that survey. And we are going to be holding focus groups at all of our local community senior centers in the forthcoming months to engage our seniors about the community health survey. Thank you so much.
Thanks, David. Harriet?
Hi, so I'm representing the League of Women Voters of the Beach Cities Health and Wellness Committee that I co-chair. And I wanted to tell you about that we did a deep dive into the 6 cities that our league covers to learn about the activities and programs for older adults. And we used the AARP's 7 metrics. And we realized that many older adults are not aware of the activities and programs in the community. So we used the information from our deep dive and created a flyer titled 2024 Older Adult Programs and Services in Manhattan Beach. And we made this available to hand out at the Manhattan Beach Jocelyn Health Fair. And then we also put them in the front office, on the front entrance, and a stand, the flyers at the Manhattan Beach Jocelyn Center. And so we're looking to the other 5 cities that we cover about their interest in having a similar type flyer. And so if anyone is interested in knowing more about this, and I guess, you can contact me and give you my phone number, or I don't know. What do you think, Ronson? What should I?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a flyer about the Jocelyn Center services,
All
or
about all the programs and activities for seniors in Manhattan Beach.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
so
then the league is willing to help other or
yeah.
centers with theirs as well. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely direct people your way if they're interested in having that I guess advertising service that you're kind of creating. Yeah.
So I'm looking here, I'm having a problem. How to change the message to put in my information here. I can't.
We have it. We can send it out with our agenda.
Okay, you'll take care of that for me.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so we're trying to figure out how to meet these people that are isolated or don't know about activities, some way to let them know what's different ways of letting people know what's available. Even though we have Manhattan Beach has a senior center has a wonderful flyer, has a newsletter that is beautiful and has all the information for the senior center in it. This is the whole community, volunteer opportunities in the community and so forth.
Yeah. This is a great thing that you're doing, and I know we talked offline about seeing how the working group can help with this issue. So yeah, interested in continuing to meet with the League of Women Voters on this and to see how we can help out as well.
Yes, thank you so much.
David, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I just was gonna say, Harriet, I'm putting my phone number in the chat. Since you're in the same area, I'm just curious, what other cities are you looking at? Is your agency looking at?
We cover Hawthorne, Inglewood, El Segundo, Manhattan, Hermosa, and Redondo.
Okay, because we cover Hermosa, Redondo, and Manhattan as well. So I would love to chat with you offline and kind of partner on resources. I do that resource information and referral line for Beach City South District. So we do get a lot of those calls. I personally take a lot of those calls for seniors who are isolated and trying to get them resources and information. So I'm putting my number in the chat, and I'm hoping that we can connect.
Okay, because Emily Brosius has spoken with us before, and we've have good contact that way. Thank you so much, David. That'll be really helpful.
Thank you, Harriet.
Okay.
Kathy?
Okay, so I have one more thing that has come to my attention, and it's really super important. Anybody who has an online Social Security account where you log in under ssa.gov, apparently Social Security is changing the way people log in. So if you, I believe it's, if you had the account prior to 2021, I think, they want you to now use login.gov or idme.gov, I believe, are the two logins. People are supposed to log into their account. They should be changing their login information, new passwords, the whole 9 yards. So we need to get the word out to people to do this, because so many of our seniors do use online to check their accounts, to be able to get their benefits, to be able to do whatever, replace ID cards, whenever they log in. So we need to get the word out to them. And then the other thing that I heard this morning, which I think I mentioned earlier, was to make sure that when they do this, they go to ssa.gov. Do not click on a link in their email. Do not click a text message that's telling them to do this. What I'm hearing is this is going to be a high-level scam place that people are going to try and go to. So I printed out, I'll send it out with the meeting notes. The letter, I copied it off of the SSA website on how to do this. So if everybody who's coming in contact with our seniors could mention this, it might be, you know, we've just got to get the word out that sooner or later they won't be able to log into their account at all if they don't kind of log in and make this change. So it's really not just for seniors, it's everybody who uses ssa.gov.
Kathy, if I log into my account now, will it give me directions to go to the new site?
Yes, it tells us.
Okay.
Yeah, because I already did it because I wanted to see what would happen. It's a little tedious, so some people may need help with this too. So go slow when you're, you know, choosing. I think I chose login ID, something like that. Login.gov.
So would this be maybe one of the safer methods, go into my existing account?
They want you to go that way. Go
Okay.
to your existing account and go that way. Don't click on an email message. Don't click on, even though they're going to give out links to try and scam people.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Kathy. And then Patty, you had a question about how to get on the mailing list. Are you talking about the League of Women Voters, or what mailing list are you talking about?
Hi, I'm Patty from the city of Torrance. I just wondered how I could get on the mailing list so I could get the information for these meetings. This was sent to me by my supervisor, and I'd like to get on the mailing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, can you email Kathy and she can put you on the mailing list? I'll put her email in the chat.
Thank you so much.
I also, this is David. I just wanted to mention real quick that we just had a presentation by the Redondo Beach Police Department at one of the senior centers in Redondo Beach. And when he was speaking, you know, about the scams for seniors, a lot of times where seniors get caught up is they can't distinguish between a legitimate service and a actual scam. There's always that pressure they do that pressure tactic to try to pressure seniors to give their information. So one thing I let the police department know, a strategy that we have been using at the district and that I've used in the past when working with seniors, is to make sure that they do register for the National Do Not Call Registry. They can register their cell phone. I put that information in the chat too. They can register their cell phone and their home phone annually. I encourage them to do it annually because sometimes it falls off, or new agencies come on about that are not getting the updated National Do Not Call list. And that just seems to eliminate the number of calls that seniors get to their house. When my grandmother, I was like her dedicated care manager for the last 7 years of her life. That's a strategy that I used, was basically she would get all these calls from the fraternal order of the police or mailing labels and all this stuff, because once they, you know, either give a donation to somebody or give their information, they're going to start getting flooded the agencies sell their information and are going to start to get flooded. So if you encourage seniors to register for that National Do Not Call Registry, it would greatly help them reduce the number of calls that they are receiving from telemarketers, et cetera, so then they can more quickly identify a scammer. Because a lot of times that's where the confusion comes in, because so many people are calling them. A lot of our seniors don't even pick up their phone because they get so many calls. So please encourage your seniors to register on that National Do Not Call list.
Great. That's a great idea, David. Thanks for sharing. All right. Well, we're actually 6 minutes past time. Great meeting, folks. And we had a lot to cover. So thank you, everyone, for staying on. Until next time, our next meeting is going to be in September. So we'll see you all September 24th. September 24th will be the next meeting. So thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Ronson. Great meeting.
Yeah, thank you.